ICE officers have been caught on video twice in physical altercations in the last week. Both occurred in New York City. In one, a woman was shoved to the ground. In the other, a photojournalist was injured. Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins me now. Camilo, what do we know about these episodes, and what are those who are concerned and advocating on behalf of immigrants saying, and what is ICE or DHS saying?
Hi, Major. The first incident you referenced last week appears to have started when a woman from Ecuador, outside of the federal immigration court here in New York City, alongside her daughter, attempted to cling to the woman's husband, whom at that time was trying to resist arrest by federal immigration officials who were attempting to take that man into custody, and they attempted to do so. They separated the family, and ultimately that man, who ICE says was in the U.S. illegally and also has a criminal record, was detained and apprehended and is now in federal custody. After that initial incident, the video shows that the woman attempts to confront one of the officers involved in separating the family. She appears to touch the officer with her hands, and after that, the officer proceeds, Major, to push her quite aggressively to the ground in front of her children, including that daughter that we referenced earlier, and a crowd of journalists and other federal and court officials here in New York City. Initially, the Department of Homeland Security, Major, told us that that officer's conduct and actions were unacceptable and that he would be relieved of his duties, quote unquote, for the time being, pending a full investigation by federal officials. But we were first to report on Monday that that officer has now been reinstated and has been returned to his duties after a preliminary review. We're still trying to gather more facts as to what that review found, Major. And as you underscored, we saw a different altercation this week involving ICE officials pushing a group of reporters and journalists, one of whom had to be hospitalized. The journalists, Major, claim that they were just trying to do their jobs and that ICE's actions there were unjustified and unwarranted, but the Department of Homeland Security is arguing in a statement that the reporters were inhibiting and obstructing ICE's mission in that federal courthouse here in New York City. What is clear, crystal clear, I would say, Major, is that the tensions right now over the president's mass deportation agenda are really high.
Very high, with lots of consequences in many different directions. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, as always, thank you very, very much.